Welcome. This is week 6 of this particular program in Grow Your Strength. We'll start with about a minute of breathing. So just take some time to adjust your posture, relax the body either in a face up or face down position. Congratulate yourself for showing up to class. Slowing the breath cycles and trying to get the breath as deep as possible when you inhale. Create an expansion of pressure all around your torso, right down into your pelvic floor. And as you exhale, everything gently recoils. Now today I'm going to transition us right to the knee bends and ankle mobility. So you can grab a stretch strap and start to work on your knee bends. Just take a moment to realign your posture again and make sure your legs nice and straight. Just taking the knee into the shoulder, you can give it a little hug and then fully extend the leg up, trying to find that spot where you can get full extension but not locking that knee. And today when we go into the ankle moves, I usually say just 5 slow moves, finding your full range of motion. And we'll stick with that today, but before you switch to the next move, after you've done 5 slow, see if you can do 5 fast and just work the ankle a little faster and then move to the ankle inversion and eversion, rolling the sole of the foot in and out, and then 5 fast. Taking some time to do some slow circles, couple in each direction. Slow? I think you know what's coming. Keeping the legs still. And then what about fast? A little harder. Okay, so still on that pace, we'll switch sides. Go through the lineup of the posture and then the knee bends. I go through kind of phases with the ankle. I do the same thing for a while and then I try to change it up a bit, and it's been a little while since I've done the slow and fast, and as this is the last day of this routine, I'll also add the slow and fast into next week. So here's my slow. And here's fast. Slow. Rolls. Different angles. Fast. And then those circles. Okay. Note to self. Circles fast, easier on right than left. Interesting. Okay. Coming on to hands and knees. we'll go into some cat-cow cycles. Why does she want to move our ankles fast? Well, sometimes when we're walking and we, trip on something, we have to move fast. So it's good to have that as part of the training once in a while. We need the mobility and the ability to move. So through the spine. This is one that I wouldn't cue to do fast. We'll keep that with the ankles. So just going to our regular moving, not to extremes, thinking about each section of your back. When I'm in flexion, and push the floor away, let the head be heavy. Sometimes I'll tuck the toes and just kind of push through my toes and hands a little bit, increasing the feedback or the stretch response. Taking some time to sink my chest down to the floor, shoulders away from ears, gently looking up. Finding the middle ground of that, bringing the hips back to the heels and the hands towards the center, hips back to heels just a bit. So now I can rotate through my upper back and neck, taking a hold of 2 at the top, adding some breath and connecting with this hand that you have on the floor, gently pushing away, making sure you don't hyperextend your elbows. So soft lock in the elbow and then turn. We'll go 3 times per side today. A count of 2 at the top. Moving out of this, we'll go to side lying hip circles. No band to start. Taking yourself to that side lying position and just positioning your knees and feet a little forward. Support your head. And then let's free up the hip by taking some time to circle around. Nice deep breathing as you do this. This is a core and deep hip stability exercise as well, because if I could just go slow enough that I could stop through these movements. Lots holding my leg here and going slowly through this explore. We'll do some side plank resets before we switch sides. So once you've done a couple of your circles, that feels good. And coming up and positioning yourself shoulder over elbow, no shrug. Okay, this could be all that you do. Hold for breath. Or you could bring your hips forward, and a slight hinge as they go forward and back, tightening up the hip muscles. Here's my top arm version. Could also extend my top leg up. And then just depending on how hard that is for you, slowly come out, hinge the hips back. You can hold for longer or shorter. Reset my shoulder, hips forward, feels good. Add the arm, add the leg, create that tension, really using this hip. 2 to 3 per side. I feel like that's enough. It's 2 good ones. Switching. Hip circles. Nice. That elbow just right. Repeat what you did on side 1. Listen to the body. Sit back, easy on the back. From here, we're going to go to some bridges, double bridges to start. And if you want to put a loop band on now to give yourself a little bit more resistance or tension, could put one of these bands on above the knees. If you don't have one, all good. Still great exercise. So this is the full bridge and then a half bridge. So position your feet wide enough that you've got to work a little bit to push the knees out. And then here's my full hip extension. Here's a half, and then back up to the full, tightening up the buns and coming down, relaxing. You can let the knees wander in depending on how tight your band is, and then reset. Make sure you're not coming up with a big arch in your back. I just teeter my back down. This feels very connected. Chin tuck. About 10 of these. If you can go through a few reps without letting your knees wander in, then do. Take your time. Don't want to just be bridging up and putting stress in your back by not thinking about this connection. Up, down, up, down. I was training a Pilates instructor last week, and we were having a great conversation about the different styles of bridges and how sometimes in Pilates they do a bridge similar to this in her Pilates classes, and sometimes they do more of a segmental, kind of rolling through the spine type bridge. Both have purpose. I tend to stick to this kind of bridge. I've more of a strength for the hip type purpose, and I call that the hard style bridge, and I believe that's a term I picked up from Strong First. Okay, so let's go clamshells on the side, and I'm going to start us today with 10 knee-only clamshells, so you can come down and just work on position first, feet relaxed, work into the up phase and the down, whether you're using a band or not. Just think about creating that work and lowering with work, then relaxing the tension here. 10 of these. I've got a pretty big grumble there. I don't know how close the mic is to my grumble, but if you can hear it, I guess hopefully you find that quite funny rather than excuse me. Oh dear. Okay. This is hard. I have a fairly new band on and I'm getting the work done. Now, before we switch sides, let's come up to this side plank. And here's an option for you to try a side plank and then a clamshell. So you could come here, could do a clamshell, sit back down. I'm going to aim for 3 of these. It's my sort of internal dialogue. Feels like, yep, if I don't hold it for too long, I can do 3 good ones. If you felt tension in your neck and shoulders, then you're done. Don't do that extra rep just to see if it's going to feel okay. Great. Switching sides. And that position, the top hip forward a little. Working the up and the down, feet are relaxed. Good. Coming up to your side plank. Try to match what you did on the first side. Good. That shoulder just right. Press the hips forward. Work. Very nice. Okay, after this, we'll go band off into down dog, alternating with a plank and a lower to the floor. So if you use a pillow underneath your front side for that lower, have that close by or underneath. Here's the down dog. Taking some time to spread my fingers, lift my hips up, sitting back into my heels. Gonna get some good stretch through my calves, back of my knees. Coming forward into a plank. If you need to break, you could certainly take a break on your knees for a moment. Tighten up the hips a little. Align the neck. And then when you're ready, you lower yourself down to the floor or to the pillow. Now I'm on my knees. I'm going to shake out my wrists and do that again. I'm listening to your body, how long you held it. Taking some time to come up. Push back. Release the back by thinking about getting some nice length to your back. Armpits come down towards your feet. Okay, stepping forward with the hands into your high arm plank. Maybe I can hold this for about 3 breaths. Activating my hips, pushing my hands away from my toes, increases the tension. And then a nice controlled lower to the floor. Nice work. Finishing that off, we'll come to standing, and I'm just going to work on opening up my foot position, slight bend in my knees. Just take some time to loosen things up. And after a few side to sides, we'll go into some calf raises. If you'd like to use a ball between the heels for calf raises, that's fine with me. Right at the back of your heels, look down and check that your toes are nice and straight. You might need balance support. Take some time to exhale and slowly lift the heels, connecting all the toes down and then working the smaller muscles of your feet as you come down. If you have high arches and feet that cramp, you don't need to squeeze the ball too much, but if you are one of those folks that have lost a bit of their arch and your feet are going more flat, then you do want to turn your feet in, or that sort of idea that you're squeezing the ball and turning your feet in, and that helps to promote your arch. So just taking some time, either just lifting the ball, if you're in that first group, or if you're wanting to build your arches, lifting and envisioning that rotation in of your soles, and then slowly working back down. The stronger our feet are, the better we're going to be able to keep our walking speed and our balance. So it's worthy of some consistency. And now I'm taking it into a full extension reach where I lift my heels and reach for the roof, opening up all my joints. My feet are wide enough that I feel quite balanced. So if this is feeling way too easy, you could come a little closer. Spread those fingers. Gently look up as you reach for the roof. Can you get a little bit more out of the backswing of your arms? What range can you access? Can you get a little bit more as you reach your arms up overhead? Just a little bit more control through the toes. Wonderful. Taking some time now to think about setting up the foot for the single leg balance. And we're going to go into the weighted passes. So first I'm just going to kind of like get my position. Yep, that's going to work. Find a weight that you can pass 10 times today from the left to the right. If this doesn't work in a single leg position, you can't control the knee, then kickstand this back toe quite wide and still do the passes with the weight pretty much on the front foot. If you can take the back toe off for a few or all of your passes, then do. But I'm passing 15 pounds, being mindful that it's not pulling into my neck and shoulders. So I'm still feeling quite connected here. Staring at something will help. This is all uh, multifactorial. You've got lots of balance and stability through your foot and ankle, knee, hip. Just take your time. Breathe nice and deep. And you can feel lots going on as you weight shift and change the center of gravity. Setting up for side 2. Looks great. Be patient with yourself. Open up those toes. If you feel them scrunching, that's okay. But then just pause for a second, open up the foot, kickstand, reset the foot, and then go for it again. Good. Now, the lateral step out we'll do 2 times per side, and then decide if you're going to add weight. So I step out to the side. Think about sitting my hips back, 3, 2, 1, and then stand back up nice and tall. 3, 2, 1, getting a good stretch response in through my inner thigh there, this whole straight leg. And we'll go 5 more times per side. Can you take some weight? It could be 1 dumbbell, a kettlebell. Now I'm going to go out, 3, 2, 1, and then power myself back up to posture. Looking good. And up to 5. Remember, the rep range are just suggestions. So don't make it too easy, don't make it too hard. If 5 is too easy, and throw in an extra rep or 2. That's a-okay. Okay. From here, we go to the static lunge up and down. So this is finding a position, loaded or unloaded. I'm going to go right into weights. I'll show you from the side. One leg goes straight back. Got those back toes bent, really connected with my front foot. And I'm going up and down 6 times. Now you can keep your front knee right over your ankle, or you could pitch forward a little if that feels okay on your knee. Only going to a depth that you can control, and come back up. If you want to add the breath, you could inhale on the lower and exhale as you come up. Switch sides. Good. We'll put the weights down for a moment before we go into the squat and press, and just go through a little shoulder series. So first, setting my feet, taking my palms up. I'm going to work my shoulders all the way out and all the way in. When you're doing shoulder exercises, it's really easy to open up the rib cage and change the rest of the posture. While you're trying to work the shoulders, it would look something like this. Just kind of, I'm going subtle, I'm going a little exaggerating, but you want to keep your posture floating and just work the shoulders. It can be a real challenge. Second exercise, let's just bring the elbows out to the side, working up and down like you're pulling through some sand. Warming up the shoulders, and then holding the elbows up. Can you go into external rotation and down into a little internal rotation. How does that feel in the left side and the right side? Down. And after a few of those, elbows to your side, spread those fingers, and now we'll do the full overhead. Beautiful. Motion is lotion. So got some heat moving through the shoulder. Now we take a weight that we know we can press overhead on one side, and we're looking for a squat, stop, press, stop. About 6 per side. If for some reason you can't press weight overhead, your shoulder's not happy with that, just hold the weight here and just simply squat. Okay. Be mindful that you're not doing what I demonstrated, bending back or to the side. And I think that was only 5 for me. Could go to 6. That felt about right. Okay. That was great. Okay, let's run through this set again. Single leg balance with the passes, setting up your foot a little bit. Got my toe spacers on. So that changes the dynamic a little bit when I'm in the single leg position. Connecting my foot, slight bend in the knee, back foot kickstand or off or a combo. Being mindful of the tug or the pull in your upper body as well. Let your foot, ankle and knee make the adjustments that it needs to as you change the center of gravity with this weight shift. Wonderful. Setting up that foot. Good. Now for the step out to the side, I'm going to try a slightly heavier weight. 3, 2, 1. 5 per side. When you decide that you might like to try a heavier weight, and do a rep or 2. And if it doesn't feel good, move back down. 3, 2, 1, and back up. Wonderful. Oh. That slow countdown makes it harder. And then we've got our lunges. I don't think I've taken a water break yet. Let's do that now. Okay. Water break. What weight did you use for your lunges? Okay. Just build yourself up gradually. Feet are nice and straight. Step back. Get those back toes bent. Connect with your front foot. As you come down, watch that your front knee isn't wandering in. Keep that knee tracking right over the middle of your foot. Gaze up. Loading up those legs. Got to 6. That feels about right. Could always do a rep or 2 more if you needed to. Get that sweet spot. And then we have got our squat and press, not taking too much rest here. No shoulder warm up this time. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Boom. Guaranteed to put you in that good mood with that weight overhead. I'll go for the 6 this time. Nice. Okay, this week we're going to go right into our weighted carry on one side. So you want to find a weight that challenges you, but that you can keep connected for about 30 seconds. So we'll go ahead and find that weight, pick it up on one side. Now you've got some options. You can just stand. You don't want to give in to your weight, and you don't want to overcompensate. So think about shoulders being level. You can take a few steps forward and back, but again, looking straight ahead, really owning the shoulder, giving yourself a good grip, but not over gripping. And we're coming on 30 seconds there, so take some time to just slowly put the weight down, shake it out, and then we'll switch. Here we go. Lifting up and a few steps on this side. Try to do that nice deep breathing. Got a little pinch in my shoulder blades, like pinching back, staying connected. This is a heavier weight. Got to be safe, and there's our time on that. Now, we'll go into the bent over fly. If you don't have something quite light to do the bent over fly, you're just doing it body weight. I've got some little 2-pound weights here. Could be up to 5 pounds. Just taking time to open up and squeeze the shoulder blades together without shrugging into your neck. You should not feel this in your back either. So if you feel it in your back, just take a moment to stand up and reset and see if you can just work the shoulders, the up phase, the down. Some good control in the open position. Up to about 10 reps. Very nice. We'll move to push-ups. Whether or not you do push-ups standing or on the floor, after the push-ups, we do go to the floor. So take some time if you're at a wall or an elevated surface to find your plank position. Spread those fingers, pull yourself in, push away. It could be brought to the floor for a lower or mini push-up. You just want to keep building the number that you do with your practice. Looks good. Here's the mini, a lower, or a full push-up. Okay, into McGill holds. Today we'll go 2 times per leg, alternate legs. There's so many variations of this exercise that are great, but you really do have to pick and think about things that work for your body. Some people have very sensitive necks and their neck flexors are tense. So you don't lift your head and create tension in through here. Keep your head on the floor, chin tuck, just like you're pressing a little button lightly on the back of your head. Then I connect my torso by just changing the angle of my low back curve. I'm not trying to flatten it, just decrease it so everything feels connected. And then now I can lift my foot. Now my arms can stay at my sides. It could be on the floor or off, but connect the shoulders. This is the head-on version. There's a lot going on. Okay, you can pick the number of breath cycles and then release carefully. Switch the top knee. Here's another version. Chin tuck, torso connection. Gently lift the head off with the support of your fingers behind your head. Nice deep breathing. Generally 2 to 6 breath cycles. Going back for side 1, rep 2. And now the bent knee foot. Let's think about that as you connect. Find your option. Can you kind of pull your foot or push your foot away into the floor and feel the torso working differently? Feel how the activation changes just a little. Are you feeling nice and even? And then carefully coming down. Every repetition doesn't have to be the same. You can change things up. Maybe try no head support, taking the head off. Chin tuck. Bring my head down. And that one's harder, so I won't hold it for quite as long. Coming into the seated position for a band row. Nice upright posture. Walk your hands in so you've got just the right amount of tension to finish your elbows at your sides. Looking at something straight ahead, and as you pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Then as you release, see if you can let the shoulder blades glide apart a little bit at this end range when your hands are forward. And then pull back again. 12 to 15 of these. Get the work in. Gentle grip on the band. Pull from the shoulder blades and shoulders. Okay, I'm going to take us to the get up next. If you're doing the tape and you want to do a second set of that set we just did, the McGills and the push-ups, just pause and rewind and go to that. For the get up, whether you choose to do it body weight or with a weight, let's take ourselves through one practice per side. Taking my right arm up and my right knee bent first, taking some time to adjust my posture, anchor in my shoulder gently. Opposite arm and leg out on that angle. The angle is specific to you. You just have to practice and find where you can come up and kind of work it without having to adjust your hand too much. But when you do, whenever you do a get up, if you need to adjust the hand so that when you come up, your shoulder feels okay, you should do it. So just keep refining little angles. I've tucked my back toes. Anchored in my shoulders, using my legs to power myself up to posture. Step back, get control of your balance, and slowly pull yourself down to the floor. Now you can open up the front leg and then hinge and come down to your hand. Kick through to your hip, slow to the elbow, and no shrugging as you pull yourself to the floor. Okay, switching sides. Set up. Roll to the elbow. Come up to the hand. Adjust if you need, as I mentioned, then up and knee through. Take some time to line up your lunge. Tall. Step back, get control. Soft knee to land. Nice work, everyone. Go. Through. Elbow. And walk down. Yay! Nice work. Okay, come to all fours. We'll do a set of diagonal reaches, and then we're going to come up and do a little deadlift hinging to finish. So here's my all fours position, taking the opposite hand and knee off, slowly going into some sort of reach at any angle you want. You could go straight back with your leg, push through your heel, could rotate your palm in and lift your thumb up to the roof. Held it a little longer there. That was a fair bit of work. Switching sides. Staying connected in through your base hand, your shoulder, and your head, not letting your head drop. A lot of people like to lock out their elbows when they do this, so make sure you're not jamming your elbow. Soft lock. I'll do one more per side where I take my arm and leg out on an angle. This is actually a little harder. Just keeping the shoulder plane and the hip plane level and maintaining my breath. Lots of different angles to play with as you work to strengthen the back side of your core, the posterior chain, we call that. Okay, so as mentioned, some deadlifting to finish. And so deadlifting, hip hinge, had the honor of trying to teach someone the hip hinge for the first time this week. And it was pretty foreign. This is the hip hinge. The hips go back, the knees still bend, right? But the primary mover is your whole hip complex. You come back up with a neutral spine. You can use dumbbells, a kettlebell, 2 kettlebells. The principles are all the same. You don't want to take your back into any movement. So once you find your hips back, your back is neutral. Take a breath in, come up. If you're using dumbbells, you don't have to go all the way to the floor. Just inhale as the hips go back. Exhale, come up. Perhaps rotate the palms open a little. If you turn to the side, I can see the hip hinge, whether or not your knees are going forward. I've got to get those hips back and the back nice and long. Good. Hips go back and coming back up. That looks great. Big check marks, all good. Okay, now let's alternate this with a few curtsy lunges. I believe I did this last week. This is a nice hip mobility drill, and then we'll go back and finish with one more set of the lifts. Taking some time to sink the back knee down. You really feel a lot of stretch as you sink into that front hip, and then power yourself up and out. The more hip mobility we have, the easier it is for us to get our hips back in a deadlift motion or down in a squat, all these things. So let's go through one more set of lifts before we say goodbye. Just taking some time to connect with my feet. Hips back. Move back a little bit. Open my toes, hips back. Use that breath, stand tall. Maybe rebreathe a nice deep breath as you lower down. The idea is that your back stays neutral. So if you feel that it rounds as you go lower and lower and you go into a rounding, that's why you should stop here. It's just to where you can hinge and keep a neutral back, because you're getting the benefit through the hips, which is one of the main purposes of doing a hip hinge movement. All right, well, that was week 6, so stay tuned for a new routine next week. Thank you so much for joining and building a stronger version of yourself with me in the group.